All right, so today we're just going through live streaming on Restream.io. Excuse me. On the Raspberry Pi 4 4GB model. Hopefully the audio is actually coming out properly. For now, I'm randomly, as I turned it on, the web camera decided to lag a bit there, so I'm just going to try a couple things to see if we can't make that a little bit better. But with that being said, right now I have my top-down camera playing with the RCA jacks on. Oh wow, there's some lag. Okay, so there we go. It looks like a lot of it had to do with VLC player playing in the background. That's running my top-down camera. Unfortunately, it's not going to work, so we're just testing this out as we go. So far, I've only used about 50% CPU usage this whole time. So that's not too bad. I'm just going to go ahead and try bringing it back up now and see if we can't play it properly this time. So, I guess we can put a little bit of music on. We'll go like that. That should do the trick. All right. So all I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to find the VLC in my task manager to quit it out because it seems to be stuck. And there we go. Now we should be able to get going. Okay, so I'm going to try switching that over now. And there we go. We finally got. So I could just go ahead and see, this happens for the first little bit. I'll get some actual tearing in here, and but it does go away at some point. But for the most part, it does just like to actually do that tearing. But it does go away. So if I go to minimal interface, then we should be able to bring it up a little bit better here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and actually bring the camera back in, and we should be able to, just so you can kind of see the quality here. So as you can see, it's not the best of quality when it comes to using RCA cables on your Raspberry Pi with a USB converter. So I'll have to go ahead and get an HDMI adapter to USB to be able to use a little bit better quality on this. So anyways, this does work. Try to find something here that we can. Sure, we'll go like that. So as you can see, there is a bit of tearing. Once again, that does go away after a while, but for now, it isn't the greatest, but it does the trick. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, actually it looks pretty good if you're watching on a mobile device, but I assume if you're watching on a computer or anything, it's going to look like garbage. But once again, this is something that can be cleaned up later on, but I just want to check it out. So for changing graphics, all I was doing, I'm just going to bring up and share all the screens here, so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. So I do have on here the live studio for Restream, and that seems to be doing fairly well right now. Once again, if you look over here, it does bump up and down, but for the most part we stay pretty solid at about 50% CPU usage, and we're able to have VLC player running. I'm on the 4 GB Raspberry Pi. So in here, we're able to set up where we want our destinations to go. So right now, hopefully I'm streaming on YouTube as well as on Twitch. So hopefully that's working properly. I do see my video on Twitch, but I have no idea if the audio is actually coming out properly. So once again, this is learning, but it does work. You're able to use the basic functions when it comes to streaming on the Raspberry Pi 4. I was going to originally get OBS Studio going, but it was becoming more and more of a pain. There was too many dependencies issues. So before I almost got it going properly, things were just not going well. So I gave up on that one there. So when it comes to the captions, you're able to do up your own captions here. So in the bottom here, it'll say whatever. And this is a test. And we can just go through, make our own captions, whatever we want. Then the graphics. If you don't have a subscription, you will have to pay for this. Unfortunately, I don't have a subscription. And then, we'll see how this goes. Maybe I'll grab one and we can make some better use out of this program. So the setup will take me away from this screen, so I'm not going to go ahead and click on that. I do believe it will. You get a chat window here. I have no idea if this will work. I'm just going to go ahead. This is a test while streaming. And I just want to see, yes, it showed up in the Twitch chat. So that's good. And I'm just going to go ahead and type in here. This is a test while streaming. And hit enter there. And it looks like that's sent to YouTube as well. So that's kind of cool. So we're able to, and I guess if messages show up from other people, they will go on here. Unfortunately, it looks like nobody's here chatting, so that's okay. So either they can't hear me, or there's just no one watching, but that's okay. So you can also click on that to show, and it will broadcast the message across the bottom of the screen there, and that's pretty cool, because then you can kind of highlight things if people ask them in chat. And then, can we turn that off? So, I guess to get it back off, we have to go and take one of our captions and put that back on there. So, right now, we have a fully working Raspberry Pi 4 doing streaming on both platforms, YouTube and Twitch. So that's quite awesome in my books. I'm quite happy with that. What else can I show you? I guess that's about it. No one's talking, so. All right, so I guess one thing I was going to show you, let me go back to the desktop display here. And the one thing I was going to show you is how I got the graphic. So I just did a search here, and I just found the stream is starting in a bit. So I just did that, and I brought it to a new page here. And then I was able to come into my screen here and select it by selecting the share your screen, and then go to application window. Oh, no, sorry, Chromium tab. And then I was able to select the JPEG that was in there. And then it comes up, and you're able to do your own custom graphics that way. But you can probably just pre-build them all, have them sitting in the background, and then go through them that way. There's so many different routes you can go when setting this up. I think for the most part, there's not much you can't do. So far, I have not capped out the CPU. I've been keeping an eye on it. I'm running about 40 to 39 degrees Celsius. So we have lots of room here to do some damage to it. We can even launch games, start playing games on here, and it won't be an issue. Let me go ahead. I'll just launch one game here. The one that I like to play, Mana Plus, I will just connect to that so you can have a little look at that. If I can remember my password. What was... Well then. Okay, I forget the password for that, so we won't go ahead and do that today. Been a while since I played, but I do like playing that one. I seem to have to change my password every time. But we are working. So with that being said, thanks for watching, everyone. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Take care, eh?